Hello friends, welcome to the course Foundations of R Software, and in this lecture we are going to talk about the command line and the data editors. Actually, in this lecture and in the next lecture we will continue with the same topic. So first let me give you a brief idea what are we going to do in this lecture. First of all, introduce you with the basic terminologies, although I already have done it in the past. But just for the sake of completeness, I will formally introduce it, and after that I will try to show you that how are we going to work in the R software. So when we are working in the R software, we have two options. First option is that we try to work inside the R software and we don't take the help of any other external software. Second option is that we try to take the help of some external software. These external softwares are like the friends of our software. What is a friend? Means as an individual human being I can do everything what others can do, but in case if I have a friend and if somebody gives me a helping hand like a friend, then my job becomes easier. So similarly, in the R software also, some friendly softwares have been developed which help us working in the R software. And there are a couple of software, and these softwares remain popular for some time. For example, in the last 2 decades I have seen a couple of such softwares, and at this moment one of the popular software is RStudio. Besides, there are many other softwares. So remember one thing, I am not trying to do a marketing of RStudio, but that is one of the software where I want to show you that if you try to take the help of some external software, how the things are going to be helpful. That is my sole objective. So in this lecture I will try to introduce you with the R software, but how to work on the R software, that I will try to discuss in the next lecture in detail. So let us begin our lecture and we try to understand the basic functionalities of the R software. Okay, so now once you start the software, you know that what are you going to get. That we already have done. So I will try to show you here only the screenshot of the same thing which you now very much familiar. So when we start the R software, then we get here this type of window that we had called as R GUI window, that is R graphic user interface window, and in this place here you can see a sign which is like a greater than sign, and this is actually the prompt sign. And after this there is here a vertical line. Vertical line is actually, this is a sort of cursor, right? It will give you the position where you have to type. So this line, actually this is called as command line, and we try to type our command, syntax, functions, whatever you want, we always type at this place. So this is called command line, right? And then now, as we are quite familiar with the R software, we know that the execution of the commands in the R software is not really 100% menu driven. Yeah, some commands are there because in the R GUI window you have some file, packages, etc., but not all. So it is not like clicking over buttons and then getting the outcome, but we need to type the commands. So in R, when you are trying to work, then both the options are there that you can type your commands in single line or in multi lines, both are possible. So as long as you are working on one line function, one line syntax, there is no issue. But when you are trying to work on a command which takes more than one line, then instead of typing it on the R console directly, it is a better option that you try to use a text editor. The advantage is that in case if you are trying to type the multi-line program inside the R console, and if you make any mistake at any line, the R software will exit and then you will have to type everything afresh. Whereas when you are trying to type your command inside a text editor and then you are trying to execute it from there, so in case if you have made a typographical mistake in typing the commands, you will have an option to go back to your editor and make the correction and then come back to the R software for the execution. So that is why a couple of text editors are possible, and I will try to show you here two options. The first option, that how you can use the built-in editor which is built in inside the R software, and second is through some external softwares. So the built-in editor in the R software can be accessed from this R GUI menu bar. I will try to show you on the R console also. So in this case, you simply have to click on File and then you have to click on the New Script. What does this mean? I can show you first here with the help of a screenshot, and then I will show you on the R console also. So as soon as you begin the R software, you will have here this type of R GUI window. Then you can come here on the File and then you can see here New Script. Now, as soon as you click on the New Script, a new window will open here and where you can type the commands. And from this window also you can execute them in a particular way. I will try to show you, and you can also save this window, means you can save it as a RScript file. So if you try to see here, I am trying to use here a new terminology, script. Script is something like program, means in most of the languages, for example, if you are using C language, Fortran, etc., anything, you always try to write down the program, and that is called here as a script. So at this moment, as soon as you click on the new script file, it will open a sort of new file whose name will be untitled R editor, and then you can type your command inside this file, you can edit it, and then in case if you want to execute a function or a command from this file, then you have both the options. Both the options means, in case if you want to execute only one line, that also you can do. In case if you want to do more than one line or the entire program, you can also do it in a single step. For that, what you have to do, that suppose you want to execute a particular line. For that, you simply have to highlight it. Means in order to highlight it, either you can use your mouse or you can bring your cursor to that point, and then using the shift key and arrow key you can highlight it. And once you highlight it, you have to press Ctrl R. That means there is a key on your keyboard, CTRL, that is called as control key, and you have to choose the key of the R alphabet and you have to press Ctrl and R together. As soon as you try to do it, and the execution will be happening on the R console. Now, in case if you want to execute more than one lines also, that is also possible, same process. You simply try to highlight those group of lines which you want to execute and just press Ctrl R, and the execution will be done on the RGUI window on the command line. Okay. So, let me try to show you this on the R console, and then I will try to show you that how other options can be worked upon. For example, if you try to see here, this is the RGUI window. I try to come here, File, and then I come here with the new script. Right, I can show you here. I can make the size of this window small so that you can see all the things together. right. You can see here with these operations I am trying to show you that it is possible to manage these different windows in the R software also. So, you can see here this is your here untitled R editor. Now, suppose I try to make here very simple commands, although I have not told you the commands, but I believe that okay, if I take very simple thing you will understand them very easily. Suppose if I try to take here say x equal to 2 and then next line y is equal to say 3 and then I try to say here z is equal to x plus y. Well, these are very simple operations which you understand. So, now suppose I want to execute x. So, I will just highlight it either using my mouse or using the shift key and arrow key, and now I am pressing here Control and R together. So, I will press here Control and then R, and then you have to observe what really happens in the R console. So, I will say here Control R. Now, you can see here some operation has been done on the R console window. Now, if you try to see here what is the value of here x on the R console, you will see this is here x, right. Then similarly, if you try to highlight here y equal to 3 and then you press here Control R, y equal to 3 is executed on the R console, or and you can see here this is y is coming out to be here 3. Now, if you try to and then I try to highlight here z is equal to x plus y and I press here Control R, and you can see here now this here is z like this, and if you try to see here the value of here z is coming out to be 5. Well, okay, now I have shown you these operation line by line. I try to now show you that how I can execute them in the group. So, I clear this screen, and just for the sake of understanding I try to change this value. I make it x equal to 20, y equal to 30, and now I highlight all the 3 lines together and I press here Control R. So, you can see here that all these operations have been done, and if you want to see what are the values of x, y and z, so you can also do from here this window. I will type here the values of x, y and z and I press here Control R. You can see here x equal to 20, y equal to 30 and z is equal to 50, right. So, this is how you can make such operations. Now, in case if you come back to your this slide, then I would like to introduce you here that this is the way by which I have shown you that the execution of the commands can be done on the R software. Other option is that we can use some other external editor software which help us in running of the R commands. So, actually different editors are available and most of them are actually free. So, for example, one editor is RStudio and then another editor is TINN, TINR. So, earlier long time back when I was learning this R, at that time TINR was very popular. Nowadays RStudio is very popular. So, they are the free software. So, I would like to just give you an idea that how this software work, and sometimes when you are working in this software either RStudio, TINR or any other software, the working become fast and more efficient. That is the only thing. But please remember, the calculation and the analysis inside the R software when you are trying to do in the RStudio or TINR, that is still being done inside the R software only, but RStudio and TINR will give you only a face, something like the face is there, but R software is behind the screen, right. So, we are going to understand here a brief functioning through the RStudio software, but my objective here is to teach you the R software, and I would not like you to be dependent on any particular type of such software. So, I will try to give you an idea, but then after that I will come back to the R console only, and I will be executing all the commands only inside the R console only. So, that is what you have to keep in mind. So, in case if you want to download the TINR software, you can go to this website and then you can download it. This is a free software. Similarly, if you want to have the RStudio software, then you can go to this website www.rstudio.com, and this software is written in the C++ programming language, and it is a free and open source integrated development environment for R. So, well, when you try to go to the website of RStudio, they have some version which are paid and some version which are free. So, I am talking here only of the free version, right. So, if you go to the website of www.rstudio.com, so I have given you here a screenshot, then you can see here there is a download section here. You just try to click here, click on the download, and after the download you will come to this such a home page where you can see here one of the option here is RStudio desktop free, right, and others are there are different other versions, so they are paid, but I am not talking of that. You simply try to download this RStudio desktop for free, and then you just click on this one, you will get a file over this. You simply try to click on the file, install it on your computer, and if you double click on the icon of the RStudio software, you will get a screen like this one, right. So, this will have here 4 screens, 1, 2, and here 3, and here 4 screen, and they have their different types of functionalities, right. So, anyway, I am not going to take you further. I am not going to discuss about the utilities of these different 4 windows, and but I would stop here, and then in the next turn I will try to show you that how you can work on the RStudio software. So, my starting point in the next lecture will be this slide where I will be talking about the different types of functionalities with respect to these 4 windows. So, now I will stop here, but then my request to you will be at least you try to install this RStudio software on your computer and try to play with it, try to have a look what's really happening in that software and how the windows are there, how do they look like. So, that will help me when I am trying to explain you about these intricacies in the next lecture, then at least you will be familiar with the face of the RStudio. And then I will try to give you a brief overview only. Well, in case if I try to take up the RStudio also, possibly it will take a very long time to explain you all the functionalities of the RStudio. So, my objective is only to give you an idea that how these secondary softwares are going to help us in the working of the R software. So, you try to download this software and try to see how you can work in the R GUI window also with the text editor, and I will see you in the next lecture. Till then, goodbye.